What if I told you that the greatest ship ever built disappeared beneath the ocean in less than 3 hours? A ship so advanced that people believed nothing on Earth could sink it. But on one freezing night in 1912, one iceberg changed history forever. This is the terrifying true story of the Titanic. Introduction. When the RMS Titanic left Southampton, England on April 10, 1912, it wasn't just another passenger ship. It was a symbol of human ambition, stretching nearly 269 meters, 882 feet long, and weighing over 46,000 tons. It was the largest and most luxurious ocean liner of its time. The ship carried more than 2,200 passengers and crew. On board were millionaires living in unmatched luxury, families traveling in search of a better life in America, and workers hoping for new opportunities. Every passenger believed they were sailing on the safest ship ever built. No one imagined that only 4 days later, the Titanic would become one of history's greatest maritime disasters. The iceberg that changed everything. On the night of April 14, 1912, the Atlantic Ocean was unusually calm. The sea looked almost like glass, making it harder to spot icebergs because there were no waves breaking against them. Throughout the day, nearby ships had sent several wireless warnings about dangerous ice fields ahead. Although many of these messages reached the Titanic, not every warning made it to the bridge. At exactly 11:40 p.m., the lookouts finally spotted a giant iceberg directly ahead. The crew reacted instantly. First Officer William Murdoch ordered the ship to turn while the engines were reversed. But the Titanic was simply too large to avoid the collision in time. Instead of crashing head-on, the iceberg scraped along the ship's side, ripping open several compartments below the waterline. Within seconds, freezing seawater began pouring into the ship. The Titanic had been designed to stay afloat even if 4 watertight compartments flooded. But 6 compartments were damaged. The ship's fate was sealed. At first, many passengers barely noticed anything unusual. Some even laughed about the small bump. But deep below deck, engineers watched helplessly as water rose higher every minute. Captain Edward Smith gave the heartbreaking order to prepare the lifeboats. The tragedy became even worse because the Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for about half the people on board. Many of the first lifeboats left only partly full because passengers couldn't believe the mighty Titanic was actually sinking. As the ship leaned farther into the icy Atlantic, fear spread everywhere. Families were separated. Crew members struggled to maintain order. The ship's musicians continued playing to calm terrified passengers, displaying extraordinary courage until the very end. Meanwhile, wireless operators Jack Phillips and Harold Bride sent desperate distress calls across the Atlantic, including the new SOS signal, hoping another ship would reach them in time. The final moments. Just after 2 a.m. on April 15th, the front of the ship disappeared beneath the freezing ocean. The enormous weight of the flooding water caused the Titanic to break apart before both sections slipped beneath the Atlantic. At approximately 2:20 a.m., only 2 hours and 40 minutes after striking the iceberg, the Titanic was gone. More than 1,500 people lost their lives, while around 700 survivors were rescued hours later by the RMS Carpathia. For decades, the exact resting place of the Titanic remained one of the world's greatest mysteries. Some believed it would never be found. Then, in 1985, an expedition led by oceanographer Robert Ballard discovered the wreck nearly 3,800 meters, or about 12,500 feet, beneath the North Atlantic Ocean. The ship had broken into 2 main sections, surrounded by thousands of personal belongings scattered across the seafloor. A haunting reminder of the lives lost that night. Even today, scientists say the wreck is slowly being consumed by bacteria and corrosion, meaning one day it may disappear completely. The Titanic wasn't destroyed because of a single mistake. It was a combination of overconfidence, limited lifeboats, missed warnings, and the unforgiving power of nature. More than a century later, the Titanic continues to fascinate millions around the world, reminding us that no matter how advanced technology becomes, Nature always deserves respect. Do you think more lives could have been saved if the iceberg warnings had been taken more seriously? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you love uncovering the greatest mysteries and disasters in history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to History Unveiled, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next journey